Are you a success? How do we define success? How do you live a good, successful, God pleasing life, fulfilling your God given potential? I'm in what I guess most people would consider the twilight of my life, certainly above 50, um, actually in my 70s. Uh, the other day I was in a pensive mood uh, and made a list of some accomplishments during my life. And I'll show those to you briefly. Oops, you can't see it. That's probably just as well. But it's things such as being a single father to two exceptional children, being an ordained elder in the church, private pilot license, commander in the Navy, uh, getting my wings, being a beach lifeguard, being a tennis instructor, writing some articles, doing homeless outreach, homeless and evangelism, being a Stephen minister, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, academic credentials and whatnot. And it got me thinking once again about what is an accomplished life. Have I lived up to my potential, the potential that God has given me? I think most of us would have some images of what constitutes success in our mind if people were to ask us that. Oftentimes, it has to do with family, it has to do with job, it has to do with income, wealth. But the most important question is, how does God define success? In the book of Ecclesiastes, which again is probably not the most widely read book in the Bible because it tends to be a little melancholy, a little deep for for most circumstances. But it begins with the words of the preacher, quote unquote, who is thought to be either King Solomon or someone speaking in a literary sense for King Solomon, who was at the time, and compared to even today's time, the richest man on the face of the earth, wealth beyond our imagination. So, a type of success. But Solomon wished for wisdom, and he considered that to be the greater than his material wealth. The words of the preacher from the book of Ecclesiastes, the first couple of verses, the son of David, king in Jerusalem, quoting, "Vanity of vanities," says the preacher, again, King Solomon. "Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What advantage does man have in all his work which he does under the sun?" Under the sun. That's a Hebrew idiomatic expression, which means basically the best that human reason can do, the best that we can do in a humanistic way. Spoiler alert, at the end of Ecclesiastes, uh, he states in chapter 12, last two verses, the conclusion, when all has been heard, is to fear God or to reverence God and keep his commandments, because this applies to every person. For God will bring every act to judgment, everything which is hidden, whether it is good or evil. So to revere God and keep his commandments. And Christ said in Matthew chapter 22, uh, in answer to the Pharisees, what is the greatest commandment? And he said it was to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And like unto it, equal to it, is to love your neighbor as yourself. And that combines all of the law and the prophets. So for the next few sessions or episodes, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about, from a Christian perspective, a person's greatest accomplishments at the end of life are not measured by worldly standards such as wealth, fame, or power, but rather by our faithfulness to God and the impact we have on others through our love and service. I'm going to talk about four different measures of that. A strong and enduring faith is number one. A strong and enduring faith. Number two, a life reflecting Christ's love and character. Number three, leaving a spiritual legacy. Number four, receiving God's approval and His peace. So I hope you'll join me in this study. The next episode we'll dig into a little bit deeper. I'll try to keep these brief, but hopefully meaningful, a strong and enduring faith. And by the way, behind me, choosing a background for these episodes to try to make it interesting. I've been trying to use photographs that I've taken rather than choosing something off the internet, although I'll probably get to that point. But this is sunset over the St. Johns River. I'm looking to the west and taken from our little airplane on occasion on a cooler day. Flying near sunset can be very calming and peaceful. So sunset over the St. Johns River, a little bit of a metaphor, if you will, for the twilight of our life. Take care, God bless, and I will see you next time.